The Crane Resort is suing the state-run National Conservation Commission. That's our top story in our Barbados Today morning news update for Thursday, March the 29th. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. The Crane Beach Resort is set to take the National Conservation Commission to court. The hotel, which has been in the spotlight after it evicted beach vendors earlier this month, revealed yesterday that its dispute was not with the vendors. The lounge chair vendors were removed on the grounds that the section on which they had been operating for years was actually the beachfront property of the luxury resort. Yesterday, the hotel reached agreement with the vendors that they will continue to operate on the beach and to store their chairs in a more proportionate area than previously utilized. However, the resort's general manager, Sean Allen, says there's a bigger issue to be settled with the NCC. He says the hotel will be challenging the legality of the commission to grant commercial licenses to private entities to compete with the facility on its own property.
We are asking the court to two things. What is the definition of control in the NCC Act? And if the NCC has the power to issue private entities to carry out commercial activities on lands that the Crane presently pay taxes for. And this has nothing to do with the public actually traversing the beach or even traversing above the high water mark. That is not in dispute. The dispute is giving commercial licenses to compete directly with the resort.
Meanwhile, a planned protest at the Crane Beach at the weekend is all set to go, and the man leading the efforts has no plans of backing down. Cultural Ambassador the Mighty Gabby says, while the hotel management and vendors may have reached a deal, the issue of full public access to beaches across the island must be highlighted. He insists, too, much was at stake as he urged Barbadians to join in the protest set for Saturday at 1 p.m.
This is a just fight that we are putting down here. Okay. This is a fight not for us because we got soon dead. This is a fight for children that were born 200 and 300 and 400 years from now. That's what they don't see. That's what he doesn't realize. It's not a fight about Gabby and ego and popularity or some nonsense like that. This is a fight for our generations to come. That's what it is.
With the Easter weekend approaching, fish vendors at the Belinda Cox Market in Christchurch are reporting up and down sales. Vendors said yesterday that favorites such as dolphin and kingfish were in short supply, thus driving up prices. Dolphin, which sold for just $9 per pound last year, is up $11 per pound. The price of flying fish has, however, dropped.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Welcome back with news from the region now. The harmonization of regional asset recovery law is a priority for members of the regional security system. At a recent meeting of the RSS Council of Ministers in St. Lucia, the officials agreed that it was a key step towards tackling organized crime. More in this report from Helen Television.
Crime does not pay. Instead, a proposed asset recovery law by the Regional Security System, RSS, can transfer the proceeds of criminality for a more noble cause, beefing up the local police department. The cars, homes, properties, businesses, and cash seized by financial crime investigators can be turned over to law enforcement to fund operations. The RSS Asset Recovery Unit, led by Director Grenville Williams, is currently supported by the United Kingdom Department of International Development. Director Williams wants new legislation to authorize the use of seized assets to fund the Asset Recovery Unit.
All of the operation of the Asset Recovery Unit is currently funded by the British government, the Department for International Development, DFID. However, the objective is that if we are able to get the model legislation in place, if we are to become effective at asset recovery, there's an incentivization program under that legislation that says whatever money is recovered is ring-fenced in a separate fund. And from that fund, we can then draw resources to fund not only the Asset Recovery Unit, we could fund the police forces as well and other law enforcement agencies. If this legislation proves effective, which we're hoping it would be, by 2020, which should be on a footpath where we can sustainably fund and operate the Asset Recovery Unit.
And on the international scene, Nobel Peace Prize winner Malala Yousafzai has returned to Pakistan for the first time since being shot by Taliban militants. Yousafzai, now aged 20 and a vocal human rights activist, was shot in the head by a gunman for campaigning for female education in 2012. She is expected to hold meetings with Prime Minister Shahid Abbasi. The trip is expected to last 4 days. And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper email updates or like us on Facebook. We are also on Izumi Media in-bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.